Welcome back. This is Enterprise Watch here on Market View. There is a trend where lower coins denominations like 5 cents and 10 cents are no longer being used or are found thrown on the streets by Eswatini. Have you ever asked yourself what impact not having enough of these coins will have on price inflation? Well, economists say not having enough of these coins could basically mean that retailers would have to round up a certain price up to the nearest lilangeni, and this will affect consumers and producers. Our business journalist Nelson Ndlangamandla sits down with Zodwa Ngambula, who is the Deputy Director Operations, Currency and Banking at the Central Bank of Eswatini, to find out really more about the importance of these lower coin denominations.
Thank you so much, Director, for joining us on Market View. We have noticed that Eswatini are not using some of the lower coins denominations, like Zinje. You can find 5 cents. What is the central bank doing about that?
First of all, on the side of the central bank, we'll say like all denominations are being used currently, but at different rates. The higher denominations, which is your E5, your E2, and your E1, they are highly used. And then when we come to 50 cents and 20 cents, 10 cents and 5 cents, we can see a challenge with the 10 cents and 5 cents. I think everyone is aware it's very difficult to come across the 5 cents currently. And the central bank did not demonetize 5 cents to say we are stopping the circulation of 5 cents. But the central bank in 2015 took a stance to say we will no longer mint 5 cents. So the decision came following, I would say, public behavior. What the central bank normally do is to monitor the public, how they value their money. So it will be the same case with the 10 cents, where we are currently seeing a problem. I'm sure each and every one of you, when you go around the streets, you do come across 10 cents, and most people do not pick up the 10 cents. So it means people are not valuing the 10 cents. So what will inform the central bank to say what can we do next? It will be the public in terms of valuing the money. And what we normally do, we do engage the public, we conduct roadshows, we also conduct research to find out what is happening. So that is what is happening currently. The central bank is continuing to mint 10 cents, and 5 cents has not been demonetized, and 10 cents is not demonetized until the public show that they no longer value the 10 cents.
In other settings, Director, you find that where the bill, when a customer goes to buy something, where the bill is $49.99, for example, the retailer has to give 5 cents change in return. How is that affecting retailers in terms of profit? Because sometimes it basically means that the retailer would have to round up the number up to the nearest lilangeni. How is this going to affect consumers and producers, and how is the central bank thinking of solving this?
I would say in the case of retailers or shops, they do have their own pricing models, their own marketing strategies. To say I say $4.99 or I say $5.95, it is a marketing strategy. And the retailers as well, they are like the public. They are aware what is happening with the denominations in the country. They know that the central bank is no longer minting 5 cents. So it is a pricing model that they use. And I think it is the decision of the retailer to say, how am I compensating that particular customer when it comes to change? But it is the right of the customer to demand their change. So I think it's the decision that maybe retailers as well need to look at it in collaboration with what is happening in the space of the central bank in terms of prioritizing the minting of the coins. So there is nothing much. I don't believe that the customers, they lose most of the time, because the customers, they know that they can demand their change. I think it is the case of the retailer to say how can they manage their pricing model to see that they accommodate the way that maybe our currency denominations are being managed in Eswatini.
As we are speaking about these lower coins denominations, I'm just thinking about issues of inflation, price inflation. Won't this have an effect if maybe people are no longer valuing the 10 cents or the 5 cents coins?
If you go deeper, you will see that it will have an impact on inflation in terms of pricing, but it is not a direct impact because there are many factors that impact on inflation per se. But to say that it will greatly impact on pricing or on inflation, we cannot say that because we have seen how it has been all around. I think even retailers have come up with strategies to say you can put your change in your card if you have a card, and there are also digital payments options. You can pay with your card, so it's not always a cash transaction. So I think currently the impact in inflation is not as huge as you may think that it is, because people have options to say this is the mode of payment that I can use at that particular time.
What are the costs of keeping the lower coins denominations? Because at some point I think I heard that it costs about 65 cents to make 5 cents.
What I can say, yes, the lower coins denominations, they do result in a negative seigniorage, and the higher denominations, they result in a positive seigniorage when you look at the cost of minting the coin and the face value of the coin. So I think we don't, as a central bank, yes, we do look at each denomination, but in making our decision, we look at the overall impact in seigniorage. So currently our seigniorage is positive when we look at the whole part of the coins. So you cannot, we do look at 10 cents and maybe 5 cents, but we also look at the other denominations so that they can be maybe economies of scale in terms of balancing the seigniorage. Otherwise, like you have mentioned just now, that pricing is also impacted by the denominations that a country has. The Central Bank of Eswatini still has to mint the lower denominations to make sure that pricing is also accommodated in terms of the cents.
Can you be specific maybe to say how much it costs now?
I cannot disclose that per se, yeah.
Dear Vagala Director, thank you so much for joining us on the show. Unfortunately, we only have 10 minutes on Enterprise Watch. Thank you for being on Market View.
Conversation on lower coins denominations there. You had it very comprehensive, and perhaps you do understand, hopefully you do understand the implications now. Let us go for a break. We shall be back with our market analysis segment.
Eswatini TV has signed a code of conduct that is enforced by the Eswatini Communications Commission. We are committed to reporting news that is accurate, comment that is fair, and programming that does not amount to hate speech or the description of gratuitous violence or explicit sex. For any complaints of our programming, please contact us on 2411-9600 or email info@eswatinitv.co.sz. You can also contact the Eswatini Communications Commission on 2406-7000 or write a letter to ECCOM on PO Box 7811 Mbabane. Email address is info@ecom.org.sz.
Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. This is Market Analysis here on Market View. Let's talk the numbers that never lie today. And today they are painting a rather